This City of Abilene, States, Georgia, Urban Redevelopment Agency special call meeting. It's November 15th, 2023. It's 5:30. I'd like to call the meeting to order. We have an agenda before us. Do I have a motion to adopt? Lionel, do I have a second?
Second.
That's Lisa. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, the only item of business on this meeting. We have before us a resolution authorizing the issuance of the agency's revenue bonds, the preliminary official statement and official statement. The preliminary official statement and
Official statement in the
official statement and the execution of various documents related thereto, and reaffirming the intergovernmental agreement with the city. Do I have a motion to adopt?
So,
Go ahead.
so moved.
Ms. Brian, do I have a second?
Second.
That's Lisa. Mr. Manager.
Yes. So this morning we went out for a competitive sale for the URA's 30-year bond series 2023, whatever we're calling it, whatever the technical term is. It went very well. And so Doug is going to queue up a small presentation and give that to y'all to explain exactly how the auction went this morning. And then Terry will explain to you the legal instruments that you are voting on. So without further ado, Doug, if you'll come on up.
You, Patrick, for the introduction.
And hold on 1 second, Doug, so we can get screen shared.
Okay.
All right.
All right, good evening, Mr. Chairman and members of the agency, in your role as the URA. Again, Doug Gale, partly down 46 advisor. As Patrick mentioned in the introduction today, was an accumulation of a lot of hard work that had been done to get to the point, and we had the actual bond sale this morning. And I wanted to just kind of share the results of that sale and kind of report back on what the final interest rates, terms, conditions, and so forth that we're going to be asking you to approve tonight in your role as the agency. So with that being said, we'll put to stage one of the presentation. What you can see here is the market change. When we came to you all last week, the yield curve was this dark green bar. But obviously since then, the Fed had a meeting, there were some thoughts of this was the last rate hike, and so the market kind of rallied over the last really 10 to 15 days. The overall shift of the yield curve went down 34 basis points approximately. So considering when we went to go walk in the bond today, we got the benefit of that. Additionally, on Tuesday morning, the high numbers were released and went back better than anticipated, with likely additional value. So the timing of our issuance could not have been more favorable for the general interest rate markets that we were in today. So on page 2, as I mentioned last week, the method of sale that we chose to issue this bond with was called a competitive public market sale. And so in a competitive market sale, we put out a document called the notice of sale, which sets forth the parameters in which any and all underwriters are able to put in their bid. And essentially, we were unbiased as to who wins the bid. We just won the one that provided the lowest, what's called TIC, true interest cost. And so at 10:30 this morning, we ended up getting 8 bids. In order for it to be considered a competitive process for IRS purposes, 3 is the minimum that you need to have. So we almost got 3 times of what would be considered a competitive. So the turnout from the underwriting community, given the general size of the issuance and the market calendar today, was pretty tremendous. So getting 8 bids, with the winner of being Hilltop Securities, who provided the TIC, or true interest cost, of 4.311%. You can see right there the cover bid was really tight, with Baird being at 4.319, so an 1/8 of 1%, separating the true interest cost from the winning bid and the low bid. or the second bid. The low bid was or the highest bid was a 462. So part of the reason that we like doing a competitive process is that you get to sharpen pencil on that day. If you had chosen to negotiate it, that's where they saw the market today, almost 30 basis points worse. So we're very pleased with 431 for a 30-year. The next on page 3 shows the final coupons and yields on the bonds. Again, the way that the bid work is every maturity has a coupon assigned to it. What that has. And an associated yield. So you can see the front end of that issuance, the coupons were above the yield, which leads to that price being above 100, which generates a premium. So investors pay more than 100 cents on the dollar. And then the back end of the yield curve, because of the interest rate movements you got, you see the coupons are actually lower than yield, which means the bonds were actually sold at a slight discount. So overall, we were very pleased with the pricing results for each one of those. And you can see the coupons and yields ranging from about 3 to 4.6%. Various maturities throughout the issuance. On page 4, I thought that you guys might just find this interesting. Davenport is financial advisors to the city of Cincinnati. The Queen City with over 300,000 population, they sold bonds today at the exact same time, at the exact same maturities in the December timeframe. And you can see we compared the coupons and yields comparing the two. And what you can see on the far right-hand side of the page, the yield differential, is that the city of Avondale Estates in its bond sale today got better execution than the city of Cincinnati. I just thought that was a pretty cool thing to say, that we sold it on the exact same time and we got better interest rates due to uniqueness of Georgia paper, your stronger credit rating, amongst a variety of factors. But I thought that was interesting for us to share there. Looking at the page with the final debt service that we are ultimately ending up paying, roughly $520,000 a year over the next 30 years. But one thing I want to point out is that due to this market movement that we got in the great execution, as you saw on the prior page, from the pricing results, that the debt service that we showed last week, it actually had reduced by almost $725,000. So almost, not almost $750,000 of debt service savings over the life of the loan. An important thing also to point out is when we, originally thought about doing this transaction, the estimated interest rate that we had used kind of for planning purposes was 5%. So we smashed that. And we also approved a more conservative, not to exceed 5.5% rate. So all things considered, we have outperformed than what we had originally planned for. Overall, I think we're very pleased. And so tonight we're asking you to approve the bond resolution, and which includes the associated documents as well, which I'll let Barry Minister, the bond counsel, go in more detail on the actual legal side. But with the approval, we'll work to get a closing done on December 1st. And before I wrap up, I just wanted to say a special thanks to your city staff, in particular Patrick and Shannon and Brittany, for all their hard work that they've done in this transaction. I know bond issuances are in addition to their day job, and we couldn't have done all that we've done without their assistance. So special kudos to them, to working not only to get the finances and management in place to get the strong credit rating, but also the tremendous execution that we got today. So with that, I'll turn it over to Perry, who can explain the bond documents that we're asking you all to approve this evening.
Thank you, Doug. Thank you.
Everybody.
Hello.
Hello, good to see you all again. So the resolution in front of you tonight is pretty skinny. And if you remember back in 2019, when we approved the note, we also approved the mechanism to take out the note. So we have a lot of legal work done 4 years ago, believe it or not. So tonight what we're doing the supplemental bond resolution that I think you probably have in front of you. Basically approves the terms of the bond that Doug just described, the interest rates, et cetera, maturity amounts. It also approves the preliminary official statement and authorizes the official statement. That's the offering document that was sent out to investors. Again, to reiterate what Doug said, without the 3 people on the end here, it would not have been possible. If y'all have never done an offering document before, it is, you've probably seen it, but I have a copy here because it's going to go in there. It's numerous pages of information about the wonderful city of Avondale Estates. This great document, along with your operational results, really sold these bonds and attributed to your very strong credit rating. So thank you guys so much, Brittany, Shannon, Patrick. Great job. So with this resolution, we'll be approving the offering documents, and also there are just some basic documents of paying agency agreements. So we're contracting with the paying agent that will actually pay the bonds for you, since this is a public deal. And they're actually going to hold the project, the cost of issuance fund, for a moment in time when we pay out cost of issuance. And I'm happy to answer your question.
So one thing real quickly, we did not print out all of the documents that we sent to you electronically because we didn't want to waste that paper. So any questions you might have about those legal instruments, please don't hesitate to ask Terry, but it should all be cut and dried. The only change between to the documents, since the documents we sent to you yesterday, were filling in the blanks with the pricing results. Yeah, everything should be squared away.
Questions. Can we get an updated PDF with all those prices?
Oh yeah, we've got it, and we're after y'all ratify, we'll add it to the packet. Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good. Thank you,
You've
Terry.
been great.
Is it?
We don't have any comment.
Any questions from the public? I think we have.
I don't think we have. Check the panelists. I mean,
That's Graham, our commissioner-elect.
None.
Graham Rainey.
No activity online. We don't have anyone attending.
Oh, well, all right. Then bring it back for a vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Is that fine? Yep, that's fine. Okay. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
That's Lionel. Do I have a second?
Second.
That's Lisa. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. All right. This is the City of Avondale Estates, Georgia Board of Mayor and Commissioners special call meeting. It is now
5:44.
5:44. It's November 15th, 2023. Like call the meeting to order. We have an agenda before us. Do I have a motion to adopt? So moved. As Brian, do I have a second?
Second.
As Lisa. We have before us a resolution approving and authorizing the execution of various documents related to the issuance of the Urban Redevelopment Agency of the City of Avondale Estates revenue bonds, including the preliminary official statement, the official statement, and the continuing disclosure certificate relating thereto, approving the terms of the revenue bonds, and reaffirming the intergovernmental contract with the agency. Do you have a motion to adopt? So, Lisa, second. Second. Brian, Mr. Manager.
So, the city has to go through this step in order to fulfill its pledge to the URA to back the issue with its full faith and credit.
Okay. Any questions, concerns up here? No. No? Any out there? Online? All right. So I'd like to bring it back for a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
That's 5. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you, Doug. Thank you, Terry.
That's good stuff. Yes.
So anyway, thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
Any public comment? Anywhere? Okay. All right. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
That was Lionel. Do I have a second? Mr. D. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thanks again, everybody. Appreciate it.
That was the luck of the bond market dropping the way that it did. I mean, just, right? It could have been 30 basis points the other way.
No, we predicted it.
No, we didn't. If we could predict that, we would not be sitting here.